Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is last week's Survivor Stew. As you can see, it's still wonderful. It'll last another week in the refrigerator. 2 weeks it'll last.
2 weeks.
It can last
I would eat
outside.
it by 1 week.
Okay, well, 1 week, but if you're, yeah, thank you, Sosani. If you're trying to, conserve, no better way than to make Survivor Stew. Today we're going to be making a dish of lime chicken. And all you need is a half a lime. Okay? I'm going to make an onion, very affordable 10-cent onion, if at all, 10 cents. 2 potatoes probably cost you about 20 cents. And we've got chicken. I pulled out chicken breasts out of the freezer. Out of this bag. This is a Spring River, it's called. It's just a standard boneless chicken breast bag that I got for $5.49 for 2.5 pounds. This is a sale price with rib meat. It's USDA approved, wholesome. I read this in very fine print, wholesome, USDA approved. Chicken breast, it's defrosted. Fresh chicken breast. We're also going to be using pine nuts. You can use any kind of nuts, sunflower seeds or whatever, but I've got some pine nuts I need to eat up, so I'm going to fry that up with it. You steam fry it. We're going to be using olive oil, and I've got a little mister here. Put olive oil in the pan. The shirt is really kind of cool. It's just a big shirt, and I really wish you wouldn't use that word. Yeah, that's really disturbing. Apparently you haven't been receiving the memo on non-discrimination on our show. So I'm rustling up some chow for $5. So far all we need to show you is the broccoli. Let me pull that out. Broccoli. We're going to save the stalks for later, but you can use the stalks if you want. You just have to peel them. But the broccoli's good. One nice big sprig of broccoli for the whole day. And that'll give you plenty of B vitamins. So, broccoli has calcium in it too. All right. Well, apparently some of you don't want to chat because I will turn guest chat off, just so you know. If you want to chat right, I'll leave guest chat on. I mean, it's up to you. Chat right. Now, I'll wash my vegetables off with filtered water. In case you don't know if it's received any pesticides en route to being a vegetable. Are you a vegetable? Or are you a fruit? Or are you a nut? You decide. How do you like my wonderful little betta fish we got? Sarah brought a betta fish. Put it in there. It's hiding. Oh, it's in there. It's hiding. It's going, you're looking at me. What are you looking at me for? And then we have a little garden. Our little wonderful kitchen here. Isn't that nice? Anyway. Let's get busy, because this is not a very difficult meal to make. Super easy. Welfare cooking with Dave? Okay. You're improving your language. I like that. No, North Korea is not the place for you. You will find very little food. Cabbage is about all you can eat at Camp 22. See that chicken? That's pretty nice. Drain any water off of it. There we go. I rinsed it off already. Okay, let's start with the peeling of the potatoes, shall we? The ceremonial peeling of the potatoes, and I'll read chat. Oh, I feel really bad about my sink here. I need to clean it up, make it a little bit more cleansed. Nothing like a dirty sink, you know.
Cooking show, yay. David likes pine nuts. I bought a touch faucet. It's too sensitive.
Really?
It's especially if you're cooking, it's good that you cleaned your sink.
Yeah, I clean my sink nightly. You don't want to have any kind of old sponges around either, because bacteria collects on that stuff, or old washcloths or something.
Oh, is the camera facing? Oh, it's facing into the.
Okay, that's where I peel my potatoes.
I see. That's smart.
Now, you know something, I am going to use those
They
stalks.
can't really see you peel it. And if you peeled it in.
That's okay, the peels just drop, you see. They see them dropping. No, no, everything's fine. You know, I normally do this with the peelings dropping into the other side of the sink.
Okay, there. Now they can see it. He's peeling the potatoes.
Yeah. It doesn't take you more than about a minute or two to peel a potato. And if you get the other kind of potatoes that Sarah's been lobbying me to get,
Yellow Yukon Gold potatoes.
yeah, you usually pay twice as much as the baking potatoes. Now we got this
I
10
think
pound
these are
sack.
Washington potatoes.
We got a 10-pound sack for $1.88. And now the deal is $1.68 in 10. So that's kind of cool. All right, so you see the lemon, the lime is really good for the cooking. It's a salt replacement. So when you use what I call a zester, it's a little zester. You can use a knife too, but it pulls the lime off the side like this. See that? And you get all kinds of little lime peels. And I'm going to take and totally peel that if you want to hold the camera. No, you don't take it off of there. You just tip it. There you go. I want to get all that lime off of that lemon. or that
Zesting
lime.
it.
It's called zesting it. Okay. This is going to add a lot of flavor to your chicken. And you can also use replacement kind of seasoning. Now, I have a pretty cool selection of seasoning tonight I'm going to be using.
Peter says you've got to try potato candy. I think that potato candy is probably a Pennsylvania specialty or something. They don't really make it out here. That's a pretty good idea, though.
You got all that lime off of there. See that?
Lime zest.
I get it all too. I don't waste.
I know. I should get out of the kitchen. Just let David cook.
I'm going to turn that. You can set it down now. All right. I'm going to turn the burner on level 3. I made this exact dish last night just to show Sarah how to do it. And I'm going to let the pan heat up before we actually put the oil in. One of the mistakes people make is they put oil in a cold pan. That's a taboo when it comes to cooking.
Yeah, you want.
Cookers have always said, make sure your pan is hot when you put the oil down. So, all right, hello everybody, welcome to the show.
They want 720 wants me to tell you that there's 30,000 viewers.
Oh, hello, North Koreans. I'm sorry you don't have much chicken breast to cook with. Okay. All right, so we're going to wedge our potatoes. That's heating up right now.
Actually, this dish David makes is pretty good.
We're just going to
What's my favorite dish? This
tip
is
that
one.
down. Actually, that'll work. Okay. I'm going to wedge the potatoes like that and like this. And then I'm going to make them slice it about that thin. Very basic wedges, okay? So that's one potato. That'll be one person's meal for starch. We're making this for 2, so. And if you have a few peels on there, it won't really hurt that big. Okay, there we go. Wedged potatoes.
We do eat salad quite a bit, but I guess David doesn't consider salad cooking.
Well, I would make a salad.
Maybe
for you.
next week you can make.
Well, I was going to make a salad tonight, but in fact, I was going to make a salad and this dish, but I thought the broccoli would be a good mix. So
Yeah.
what we're going to do is we're going to take and dice these about 1/4 inch, these onions. Now that pan's getting pretty hot over on the other side. So
Yeah.
you don't want the hard skin, you want it soft, so you don't want to take any. You don't want to have hard onion skin in a meal. Really hates that.
We've got this beautiful broccoli he's going to make with the meal.
Yeah. I'm going to cut that lemon or that lime. Now you can use lemon, by the way, instead of lime. You can make this entire dish with a half a lemon and use the lemon zest. What I'm going to do is take a product called Mrs. Dash salt-free.
Gotta find some salt-free seasoning.
Or you can use salted garlic powder. It doesn't matter. It'll taste better with salt. But Mrs. Dash salt-free, and I'm using a little garlic. And if you really want to add some salt, you can. It's no big deal. I'm also going to add chili powder to this dish. That adds the lime flavor, and it's going to be good. Okay, we're ready to add our oil.
You're making me hungry, and garlic is good.
I'm spraying this pan with a nice layer of olive oil. Important to have the olive oil on hand in case you want to spray the top of your potatoes. I'm also going to ask you to get some pepper. I've got a pepper grinder here, so I'll be grinding up some pepper too. Got my pine nuts. I'm going to kick that up to 4 just because I want to accelerate the dish a little bit. I'm going to take the lime and squeeze it on top of the chicken breast. Okay. And use both of them. Just get it nice and lime covered. Now at this point, if you want to really make it super special, you can take and pound it. But I had this last night. It was pretty good. It didn't need to be pounded. But if you ever have chicken breasts, you can pound the chicken breast and make it really tender. Now, I would do that right now.
I don't think it.
But it was so tender last night, I didn't need it.
These just came out.
Go ahead and pepper on top of the lime. Okay. And then add a little bit of chili powder. And a little bit of our garlic, organic garlic. Okay. And I'll use Mrs. Dash. Why not? Go for it. Thank you, Mrs. Dash. Now that's a seasoned side. You ready for that? Get that pan nice and hot. Let it sit for a while. Now the net effect is you're gonna throw that meat on the grill, and you're gonna. I know you wanted to beat that meat pretty hard. I know. You're gonna throw that meat on the grill, and it's gonna be incredible because it'll be kind of like a what is called a caramelized finish when it hits that grill. I'm not too heavy on the seasoning. That's what a cook usually does. All right, here we go. Starting to sizzle. I'm going to take those chicken breasts and just lay them on the grill like that. You might be able to hear the audio, but I don't have an audio pickup here. Face down. Face down. All right. Give it a little shake. Shake that grill. You don't want it to stick too long, okay? Start seasoning the other side with the same seasoning you just put in. Moving it around the grill so it doesn't stick. A little garlic on the other side. All right, we're going to go lay on top of that onions. Wow. You know, I turned off Skype and it came up and asked me, you want to sign in? I'm going to put onions on this. I'm going to lay my potato wedges all the way around the outside of this. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to garnish the entire thing with lime. Throw all your lime on there. Put your potatoes in. Take your pepper. Cover the entire dish with pepper. Fresh ground. It could be light on the pepper. You don't want to go too hard on the pepper. I'm going to put more Mrs. Dash. Or chili powder, just a little bit. I'm going to take this fresh broccoli and I'm going to drop this. Give it another shake. You don't want it to stick. I'm going to drop these broccoli florets on top. And I save the stock and cook it later with another meal. So I'll make like a rice dish with the stock later. But I managed to use all of the broccoli. Sometimes you can use these in another meal. Stretch it out. Okay, now comes a little bit of water. I'd say about 5 tablespoons. Give it a shake, cover it up, pour everything in it, including the juice from the chicken, and let it cook for about, on level 4 for about, I'd say about 10 minutes. I will scroll up right now. Yeah. Putin is going to attack anybody. Why don't you realize that we're not at war with Russia? What are you having me scroll up to look for 447? There's no 447. Wow. You like them, but I like them taters. Mm-hmm. I like the way you talk. Mm-hmm. All right, so we're steam frying. Was that difficult? It took me 5 minutes to prepare that food. You saw me in real time. It's steam frying right now. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to flip that chicken. And all the other food is going to nestle around it. I better recon. I know Trump will steal the recipe. Oh, now it's 3227. Yeah, I see that. Okay, well. Okay, we're just going to leave you guys in here. You can fight it out. It was super easy. And everything in that dish is really good for you. The broccoli, the potatoes. And you know, those products are not genetically modified. Broccoli has not been GMO'd. You realize that, right? I wouldn't worry about the pomp and circumstance involving global politics. Meow, it's really kind of above your head. I wouldn't worry about it. Worrying about positions of naval fleets and submarines is kind of the work of the Navy. You know, leave it up to the people that know what they're talking about. Yeah. No, but potatoes are not GMO in our area yet, but they could be. They're making square potatoes. Now I better turn that over because in a couple minutes it's going to be sticking. So I'm going to go ahead and reach into that container, flip that chicken, each one. All right. And you can actually let the chicken elevate in the dish. This is completely raw. It has not been cooked. But there's not a lot more you need to do in this entire dish. I'm going to let it sit on the stove and meld all these ingredients. And by the time it's done, I'm going to keep it at level, I'm going to take it down from level 4 down to low. And it's just going to sit there. Pretty good, huh? So we're going to close down the cooking show and get into the regular show. That was the easiest cooking show I think I've ever done. You can use peanut oil, yeah, absolutely. Well, believe me, the expired stuff in that last meal was absolutely tasty. I mean, I've got a dish right now I can serve of the survival stew, right here. You remember all the survival stew I made last week. I'm still down to this much. And the hickory beef in there is still holding that together. Now, I didn't add a lot of salt to that dish. Now, one of the things I'd like you to do, try, if you really want to add seasoning to this meal, is you want to add your pine nuts right now. I'm going to do that for extra protein. I'm going to put it right on the top. You can use sunflower seeds if you want to add some dimension to this deal. But I'm going to throw pine nuts on that top, and I'm also going to put Parmesan cheese. Now, Parmesan cheese happens to be a really good flavoring tool that adds your salt and gives you the kind of taste you're expecting. The pine nuts are an added flavor, just to add that gourmet touch. But you don't have to put nuts in this meal at all. I'm going to put a half a container of pine nuts, just for texture. And I'm going to take and shake a lot of Parmesan on top of this. There you go. And that'll make it round out the flavor. Your entire meal will be absolutely fantastic. All right, everybody, enjoy your potatoes, broccoli, wedges, the whole thing. Chicken breasts with lime. Should be good. I'll be signing off here and going back into the other room, and we'll start our show up for our pre-show. Thanks for coming in to our cooking show. We'll be back shortly. Refresh in just a second.